I hit start, hopefully. Yeah, looks like YouTube's picking that up. Okay, it looks like it's going on my end, so that's good. I'm gonna let people know that we've started streaming. And by people, I mean my own chat. Oh, that's fine. I consent to the video recording of this stream. That is fine. I'm glad. I think you were gonna do it anyway, but like, yeah. Oh, mine are listed. I am live as well. I have 2 people in my chat so far. Hello, welcome. Evil Ano and Bagel underscore guy 94. That's excellent. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm going to be painting a Gundam for the first time, which is gonna be an experience. It is. You can. It'll be up there. I'll leave it up as video on demand. I don't have any of your fancy, like, alligator clip thingies, so, it's gonna be me trying to hold various pieces of a Gundam, while painting. So that should be fun for everybody involved. Hi, Josh. Yep, someone beat you to #1 again. You're losing your spot. Josh in my chat is almost always the first person to comment. I do. I have some very, very dedicated fans, so I'm quite proud, quite pleased. You're very welcome to. Yes, give both of us the watch time if you'd like to. You can watch both of us and listen to one of us. It's that way you can see what we're both painting, because neither of us bothered to do the research to figure out how to show you that. We're putting the burden on the viewer this time, just like we did last time. Well, I'm still happy to be a guinea pig. I don't mind. I wouldn't say that this channel is a place for sophisticated content, so don't worry. Uh, mm. That's fair. I don't support Amazon if I can help it, so I will suffer. Oh, Nora, you said you finally made it to a stream. Welcome. Happy to have you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Hi everybody. I am Fiverr from Sugar Candy Miniatures, as some of you may know. Tonight I'm teaming up with my buddy Liam to paint my first Gundam, which I'm very excited about, and also talk about all of the things that I thought while watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure parts 1, 2, and like the first 2 episodes of 3. So that's where we're headed with this stream. It's an exciting day. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself as well, I think that's cool. It was. You weren't really annoying. I wouldn't say that you were annoying me, but I did say that was the stream where I was like, I want to come back as like a guest and do another co-stream, and I was like, I will watch some JoJo and then we can talk about JoJo. So yes, that was kind of the impetus of that. I take my anime watching seriously. Like if I can get past the second episode, I'm probably gonna finish the anime. Or I've just got a lot of spare time, but I think that the way you phrased it is much more generous towards me. I like that. I do, yeah. I have concerns though because I think that Achilles aspires to be Dio Brando, and I don't know how I feel about that. Yes. All the pieces, yep. That would be the one acting like Dio Brando. Yes, that would be Achilles, 100%. 100%. Oh, someone says that they can't hear you on my end if they're supposed to. Let me see if I can adjust that. Um,
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't be hearing me. Yeah, I'm assuming you can still hear me. It might be something in your OBS, or I don't know if you're using OBS.
I am, yeah.
It might be something in the audio settings in there. I'm
Um,
sorry this is happening to you, audio troubleshooting.
no, no, it's good. They can hear you now. They've got it. I just
Okay,
had to
great.
change one setting. Sorry about that. That's why you can
Nope.
tune into both streams and choose the audio on one. No, we've got you live now, so that's good. Sorry about that.
We know the hardcore viewers have two windows open though, or like two monitors.
Yeah.
You know?
I appreciate. We've already got our first question from Rothian Fairmoon, who has like the best username that I love to say because it sounds like
Yes.
fairy creature. But Rothian has asked, how am I liking not having to use glue to build a model? Which I feel like is one of the first things I wanted to talk about anyway, because holy
Yeah.
shit, I get it. I get why people like building Gundams, because it doesn't fucking suck. Everything is laid out on the sprue in a way that makes sense. And like, you don't have to glue anything. There's no glue involved, so you don't get sticky fingers, which fucking sucks.
These are the hot takes I was hoping for. Or I don't even know if it's a hot take. It makes sense what you're saying.
I'm gonna say I can say it in a spicier way.
Okay.
Building Gundams is superior to building Warhammer models in terms of ease of design. Like, the kits are better, they're laid out more logically, and the pieces fit together in a way that makes way more sense. So I would say it's superior to building a Warhammer kit.
I agree. Oh, also, I forgot to officially start off this stream by cracking my can of conch, so I'm gonna do that now.
Ooh, that was a
Sprayed
good
conch
one.
Everywhere.
That was a good one, though. Usually it's crisp, but that one was like sharp. That was
Oh, yeah?
sharp. Yeah.
Okay.
10 out of 10. Maybe
I
even
gotta
11 out of
remember-
10.
I gotta remember exactly where my mic is so I can replicate the perfect can crack
Perfect
ambience.
crack. So yes, I am, you're right, Rothian. I am working on the Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans high-grade Gundam Gushin kit. Thank you for typing that all out so I didn't have to remember how to say it. I knew that, but maybe I wouldn't have said it so concisely.
Yeah, I guess let's just slightly structure this conversation. So, as your first, I guess we'll start with Gundam and then we'll do JoJo after, or
Yeah.
Reply, I should say.
We'll make it to JoJo. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Of course. And Cyber Scorpio says super glue on fingers is the worst, and I agree.
Cyber Scorpio is correct.
No, Nathaniel, we're just getting started. Fiverr is regaling us of their journey of building their first Gunpla. I don't know, how about you just casually explain as best as you can from start to finish your journey of Gunpla?
Yeah, okay, so I've been waiting to get this kit for a while because you've always been interested in Gundam, and I like to experience the hobby, like, not just doing the Warhammer stuff, but kind of dipping my toes in everywhere because I get bored easily, and I like painting everything all of the time. So when I saw that there was a chunky Gundam, I was like, hell yeah, I'll build that one. Like, the Barbatos designs all kind of make me go just sort of meh. They're just not, they're not the look for me. Like, I got it a little bit more after I watched the show, but I definitely preferred the chunky boys. So I was sad when I saw that the kit was sold out, but then when they got it back in stock, I was like, I'm gonna buy it because it's $15. The price of this is insanity compared to Warhammer. Like, it's reasonable. It's so reasonable. But anyway, bought this, was excited, and then I found out my local hobby store has like a Gundam building night, so I decided to go to that, and it was great. Everybody there was super welcoming. I took one step down into like the main gaming area, and I was holding my little box so people would know what I was there for, and a lady came up to me and she's like, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so. Welcome to Gundam Building Night. I haven't seen you around before. Do you want to sit here? We're going to be ordering pizza later, so if you want some of that. And I was like, dang, like, that was way friendlier than any Warhammer or even this, like, Blood Bowl or Skirmish Gaming Club. Like, they had, like, a whole sort of atmosphere curated there that was very welcoming, which was surprising and wonderful and lovely. And, like, one of the game store workers who kind of set up the club, and he's, like, the head of the club, and he has the nights off so he can actually be at the club building Gundam and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, let me take you through, like, what all the symbols mean on your assembly guide. Here's, like, how I recommend, clipping stuff away. And he's like, I know you're gonna paint this. You've been talking about wanting to do this as a pizza mech, so, like, this kind of plastic doesn't really take paint.
Oh, excuse me.
Ooh.
Sorry to interrupt. Burp one.
Burp one. He was like, this kind of plastic doesn't really take paint well, so, like, make sure that you prime it good and stuff like that. And yeah, so there were a couple, like, times in the assembly where I was just like, I don't really understand how this piece fits, just because, you know, I hadn't built anything that was Gundam before, but, like, everybody was super willing to help. They had little part separators and things that they could lend me if something had to be taken apart, which it did once or twice.
Yeah. No, that still happens to me, too.
But far and away, very welcoming and lovely, and there were quite a few people there. I did watch someone spend $169 in one go on an enormous, purple and green guy. I said
Eva Unit 1?
Probably. I'm gonna go with yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
it
yes.
was definitely Eva Unit 1. I remember.
And, like,
Picture you sent.
they opened the package right there, and there was all sorts of, like, so many sprues. I think there were speakers included, and I was like, damn. And that would have been, like, if that was a Warhammer piece, I was trying to equate that in my mind, there's no way that would have been $169. That would have been, like, some sort of, like, $800, $900 model. So
yeah,
I
was gonna say, like, what's the equivalent, or, like, what GW product can you get for that price, and, like, what's the size difference between those models?
Exactly, because this thing was like 40, 46, 48 inches tall, they said, and then someone was like, I need to see that visually, so they They got a measuring tape and they measured what that would look like. Um,
Nice.
yeah, but it was just really great. I have no idea what the Warhammer equivalent exactly would be. Because Warhammer doesn't tend to be as big as Gundam, so I don't know if size
It is a
really,
different
yeah,
scale,
would.
but it's just as people who have bought lots of Games Workshop models in our lives, we always got to take the opportunity to dunk on Games Workshop's pricing model. So
Gundam is a very welcoming pricing model, is what I found, which I'm very impressed by. Um,
yeah, well, that's a very wholesome story, and I'm glad you have such a good club build night to go to. That sounds pretty great.
yeah, it's really nice. I was really impressed. Also, yes, Orc Dork, I'm sorry. I'm not reading the chat as much as I usually do. So,
Yeah,
I
I
do
need to catch up
appreciate
on my chat.
number 2.
Sorry, I interrupted you again. Burp 2.
You talked right through it though. That's very impressive.
That's what I strive to do. Oh, Calder Studios says GW sprues make sense from the manufacturer perspective, just not builder friendly, and also that high grade Gushin is the best. Also,
gl-
hello Titan.
I'm glad I went.
Nathaniel is still searching for his turtle Gushin. So am I. I'm not gonna lie, still a little salty that I ordered my Gushin before you knew about it, but you got yours before me. But
I,
whatever, it's fine.
I actually had it pre-ordered at one store. And then I had forgotten that I set up a notification at a different one that my buddy had recommended for if it ever got back in stock when I was when I had first Googled it, and then kind of forgot about it. And I ended up just canceling my pre-order because the other thing notified me that it was in stock and would ship right now. So I just did that, which is how I got mine so fast. But I'm sure you'll get yours soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I got so many things on the go right now. The longer that one gets put off, it's fine. I'd rather receive it when I have, more, when I'm able to get to it faster.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't know if you know, so the Gushin you have is 1/144th scale, but there's a offshoot, spin-off line for the Iron-Blooded Orphans series that are 1/100 scale. So it's pretty hard to find, but there is a set you can get that comes with a 1/100 scale Gushin. So, the same one. Imagine the one you have, but bigger.
I like that. I might have to search for him. I don't know though. It'll depend on how much I like painting these. Chris.
Yeah, painting the Gunpla is a lot different than painting the minis, just because all the details bigger.
It's true. Chris in my chat is asking what paints I am using. I'm starting by painting this guy. I was gonna paint him brown first, but I decided after working with these paints, I really liked them and wanted to see a brighter colored Gundam because that felt more anime. So I'm working with golden so flat paints. I don't know if you've ever tried those before. They're the trendy new thing.
I've heard of them.
They're dope as hell. They're so
What's
good.
Give me the scoop on these. What are they called? Golden So Flat?
Yeah, I think Golden is the brand and So Flat is the line. They're just really vibrantly pigmented. That's they're as good. The neon colored paints that you can buy are usually shitty and really, really thin and take 10 million coats to have look decent, and you have to do them through the airbrush. But since these are designed for artists to paint on canvases, they just work super well and are the same vibrancy, but you don't have to do 10 trillion fucking coats of them.
So is it really thick then?
It's not really thick. It thins very well. I don't really know why, but it just has fantastic coverage, and it works exactly like miniature paint. It's just the most vibrant fucking shit I've ever painted with.
And describe what the pot looks like for those. Is it a screw top kind of cylinder?
Yeah, it's a screw top cylinder pot. I think it's got 60 milliliters in there. They are pricey.
Nice.
Ooh, that was nice.
For
Burp 3. Yeah, they're cylinders. I think they're 60 milliliters. It says 2 fluid ounces, so 59 milliliters almost.
Yeah, I've been, or I kind of want to start transitioning my paints to use more golden high flow acrylics,
Mm.
I believe they're called. Uh, and I like them because they're pretty thin, and like I can squirt them right into the airbrush cup if I need to just do that quickly. But they also like work pretty well for when I'm doing my glazing and edge highlighting. I find like I tend to lean towards thinner paints.
That's fair. I tend to prefer the one thick coat method, and these are
Yeah.
definitely a 2 coat kind of paint, but in I mean they're not bad. Some of them contain cadmium or lead, as Dana Howe broke down in a video of hers. So don't brush lick if you use them. I don't believe that any of the colors that I have are the ones that have cadmium or lead in them, but just to be safe, I will not be licking a brush. And I will be changing my paint water after I use them so I don't get cancer from painting this Gundam.
I managed to not ever develop the habit of licking brushes somehow. Well, that's not true. I've licked a brush once or twice in my life before to get that nice tip, but I'm not like, I guess, a chronic brush licker.
I would definitely say I have licked a fair amount of brushes. I tend to do that. Hi, Hector.
I heard a meow.
That's a Hector. He's saying hello. He's saying hello. Hi, buddy.
So you're gonna be using these golden so flats on your Gushin?
I'm gonna try them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do, like, this is so lame, but I ordered Domino's the other day because I was broke and lazy and didn't want to, like, actually cook real food, so, they were cheap.
Feel ya.
And the blue on the box, looked cool, and I was like, you know what? Initially, I was gonna paint this...
Meow.
Sir, you're interrupting a stream. Initially, I was gonna paint this Gundam brown and then have some, like, pizzas on it. Specifically, the big round shoulder pads are gonna be pizzas. But now I'm just gonna do the same thing except blue. And already, like, the blue is showing up really nicely on camera and looks super vibrant against some of the black primer undercoat. So I think I might do blue and black and giant yellow pizzas.
Nice.
But I don't know how confident I am about preserving that black, so it may have to be recoated or touched up with another color or something like that. But yeah, so far I'm just going to put a coat of blue down on all the places that I think should be blue, and then I'm going to go from there.
Will this be your first project that's like, food themed, but it's not candy? Because, pizza's savory.
I have done...
Have you painted, like, savory things, savory color schemes before?
I have. I do both sweet and savory, so I don't know if that makes my channel name a lie or if I'm just diversifying, but my first video on this channel was actually painting pizza orcs.
Oh, right.
And
How
then...
could I forget? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you, Liam. I've also done, like a burgers and fries kind of theme for a Blood Bowl team. So, yeah, there's been some savory mixed in with the sweet.
Which Blood Bowl team of yours is the burger and fries themed one? Because the orcs are like the pizza one with the bowling alley carpet bases.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yep, that's right. For the burgers and fries one, I haven't made a video about it or anything, but
okay.
it's a Shambling Horrors team. Shambling Undead, that's what it is. I just looked at the skeleton and thought it would be really funny if his bones were French fries, so I did that. And then they have these, like, big, really chunky mummies, that you can get on the team as, like, the blockers. which are just
Yeah.
supposed to be the big bulky guys. And I thought it would be funny if they were made out of onion rings instead of fries. So, yeah, and then we just got these big, chunky, like, burger shoulder pads. It's really ridiculous, but it translates surprisingly well.
Are you a fries or an onion ring person? Like, if you're picking, have a choice of side.
I definitely go with French fries, but if it's like a group situation in which I am expected to share, I'll go with onion rings because someone else
Oh,
will inevitably get fries and then not be able to
oh
finish
yeah.
them, and I will end up having both onion rings and fries. Yep,
That's some smart thinking there.
it is. It truly is. Also, like, I don't eat quite as many fried foods as I used to, so it's it's a little
Fair.
bit like I don't know why onion rings feel so much chunkier to sit in your system than fries do, but man, I've it's like I can't be doing a stack tower of onion rings like I used to.
uh, Calder Studios said it depends on the cut of fries for them. Oh, and apparently Nathaniel was lamenting about a Gundam he had pre-ordered, but he canceled the pre-order because 3 years went by and it never came through.
No, that's so sad. Oh my goodness, I'm so
And
sorry.
Sasabi is scribing with a homemade scriber.
I know what that means now.
Impressive.
Burp number 4.
Burp 4. Yeah, I had onion rings last night. No
Oh, nice.
fries that me and Blue Parappa went to. You know, we were feeling like just being unhealthy, so we got burgers from a local place. But it's a place I've been to enough before that I know their fries are kind of mediocre. They're like too salty and crispy. But they have good onion rings and fried pickles, so
Fried
totally still the same amount of unhealthy.
It's fine. I feel like, you aren't meant to eat healthy every single day of your life. A burger isn't going to kill you.
We had salad tonight, so it's fine.
That balances it out. That balances
Even though
it
it
out.
was like had a heavy like mayonnaise dressing, but you gotta make those leaves taste good, so
It's true, otherwise they're just like leaf.
because I can't see your stream right now, are you like painting the Gushin now or disassembling him or what?
Oh, I'm painting him. I have a leg that I've got the blue mapped out on. Because right now I'm just kind of blocking in the colors where I think that they will look good. Because I don't really know
Yeah.
how it's all going to look. So I'm just doing like a thin coat of all the different stuff in the different areas so I can see if I like how all of it looks.
Yeah, I also block things out as I go. That's kind of what I'm doing now. Or like the last couple of streams I did working on this, I felt like I waffled a bit too much when I was painting, or I would like lose steam because I'd be like, I don't know whether I want this armor panel to be purple or not.
Is it
But
still the Sasubi?
Sasabi?
That one. The Sassy
Yeah,
Bee.
it's that one. The
That
Sassy
one.
Bee?
The Sassy Bee. I think that's the correct pronunciation there, actually. You'll find. Sassy Bee.
And,
That purple you were putting on it was looking good the other day.
oh yeah, I'm still painting it. It's definitely, I don't know if I would call it like a flaw in my painting style, or it's just kind of the nature of like when you're hand painting gunpla kits, like takes, if you're using mini paints, they're kind of, designed for miniatures. Or I find like, you just have to be ready to do a lot of coats when you're painting gunpla by hand, which, isn't necessarily a bad thing. Doing a lot of painting can really get you in a zen mode, but it can also get tedious.
Yeah, and you're doing that one
purple
for a commission, so you actually want to be able to finish it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's my first commission in this style, but thankfully this year I've been better about tracking my hours on how long it takes me to paint things. So, like, before I even started this Sasabe project, I felt like I could give a decent enough, or like have a decent enough idea of what it was gonna be like.
Oh, circling back to my experience at Gundam Builders Night, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. And to the person I'm about to talk about, I say this with admiration and not a hint of like disdain. Also, hopefully this doesn't dox me, but there is a Gundam builder at our local club who has the most ridiculous like Nintendo villain mustache ever. It looks like someone was working with limited polygons because it literally is like thin and then points up and away from his face into like very sharp points that go like past his ears. It was the most fantastic like
Past his ears.
it felt like it was like diagonally it was reaching out I guess towards his like where his ear would be, so you can kind of get like an idea of the length of the tip of the mustache. But it was crazy. It was like a freaking anime character had walked into Gundam building night.
Yeah, really. Damn.
It was crazy.
Like, it sounds like Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik in the...
Yeah, very much that. I don't know why I said Nintendo. I was reaching. I've never played any of the Sonic games, so I could not remember Dr. Robotnik's name. But I'm so glad that you were able to put that all together and figure out what I meant.
Yeah, Blue Parappa. Sorry, Blue Parappa. You're not I'm assuming you're not watching the stream because you're in the other room and there'd be a weird delay. But she's a big Sonic fan, so I get my Sonic knowledge from her. Our first Valentine's Day together, we went and saw the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie because it came out on Valentine's Day 2020, and then that was like for the longest time the last movie we saw before the big lockdown in March 2020 was Sonic, and then I didn't see a movie again until Dune came out in 2021.
And then you had to sit through Dune, so rip for that.
I willingly sat through Dune twice, so, but
that was
I got
a choice.
Your Dune hot takes last time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We won't beat that horse to death.
That again.
No.
Calder Studios in my chat had a really good referring to the Sasabi. They said Space Crawdaddy with some big old guns and thick thighs.
The way people describe things is wonderful. It's so great. It's never how I would expect them to. Always more cursed than expected. 10 out of 10 description. I wish I could give gold stars to people in the chat for just posts and stuff like that, because it's always a time.
Yeah, YouTube, can you implement that, please?
I think so.
Can you bring dislikes back or something? I don't know.
Josh, I'm sorry you feel cheated that I'm ignoring the chat partially to have a conversation with someone. I promise I stream often enough that you'll catch a regular stream. We just like to do this now and again. This is a treat. It's special. It's special.
It's like alternative stream content to, spice things up a bit. But, if we do it every time, it's like when I burp in videos, I don't like put burps in every single video because then, it might get old. I gotta keep the audience on their toes, keep them guessing when the next burp's gonna be.
It's
and
fair.
Then hopefully burp mid-sentence without breaking, like, my speaking cadence.
So you have a pretty extensive knowledge of Gundams, at least in terms of what I know.
It's okay.
What is the, biggest Gundam that exists? That is, a kit that you can buy and build?
That would probably be I believe it's called the Neo Zeong. It's it's funny, when you buy it, it comes with, a high-grade Gundam kit that, sits in the cockpit of this, even bigger Gundam.
Like one of those Russian nesting dolls?
Mm-hmm. But the Neo Zeong, it's, so big that it only operates in space, kinda, so it doesn't have legs, it just has, big like rocket thruster tubes that stick out like from his waist. Yeah, the Neo Zeong, I'm pretty sure that's the biggest like Gundam thing with a physical kit that you could buy.
That makes
Maybe
sense.
someone will correct me. Yeah, Calder agrees that it's the Neo Zeong.
And how like
in reference to that mustache earlier, I missed a message. Cyber Scorpio said, "Are we talking Wario or Waluigi?"
I have to admit, I think it's more Waluigi than Wario because it's like thin. It's not like a bushy mustache. But I don't play a lot of Nintendo party games. I know that Wario is like the evil Mario and Waluigi is the evil Luigi.
Waluigi's the skinny purple one.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that Brian David Gilbert made that fantastic video about.
Yes.
But when I'm trying to remember what Waluigi looks like, I cannot picture what his mustache looks like in my brain. So I can't confirm or deny that.
It's I believe it's like long and wiry and it goes out horizontally, but I'm more of a PlayStation kid, so
that's fair. We also had a PlayStation growing up. Hi, GMJ. Thank you for popping into the chat to say hi. It's nice to see you here. It's nice to see all of you here. Even if I've missed your message and not called out your name, I see your messages. I'm reading them. Even if I'm not verbally responding to them, you're all delightful.
I mean, yeah, this sounds dirty kind of saying it, but if you're... Yeah, we're not paying that much attention to the chat because it's a guest stream, but if you give me a super chat, a little ding and like highlighted message appears, so I'll definitely read that one.
Wow, I can't even shill for those because I don't have enough watch hours on YouTube that they'll let me get money.
I mean, I feel extra dirty saying that.
Go pay Liam, and then also I'm here. That'll be
if
good.
you want to ask Fiverr a question and make sure they hear it, you have to give me money, and then I'll ask them.
It's a pyramid scheme. That's great. But no, seriously.
These guest streams, it's just multi-level marketing.
It is. I signed up to be one of the people that's trying to sell magazines to other people, to get them to sell magazines for me. Everybody's just talking about Waluigi now, so it's not even important. I'm not even
We activated the Waluigi thirst.
Listen, it's not... we didn't activate thirst, I hope. I know that has to exist out there, but it hasn't been active in my chat. That is not asking for it to be active in my chat. To clarify, I am not saying to do that. I'm just saying... They're just making general discussions about Waluigi. They're not thirsting over him yet, but it is... God, that is a barrel of monkeys to open.
You're allowed to curse and talk about the bad price comparison between Games Workshop and Bandai models. But no horny. No thirsting.
Not today. I don't know how to respond to shit like that when people be saying stuff about, like, the vampire lady or the Mothman. Exactly. I'm just like, okay. Like, that's your opinion that I would have kept private forever if I had that opinion about anything. Like, I just wouldn't put that on the internet. But, yep, there it is. Josh has said Waluigi is hot, probably just so that I would read out that comment. So thank you for that, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said this last stream too, but yeah, you probably won't like Twitter, so...
That's why I stay away from Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I don't use it. I never check it. All of the Twitter emails that I get just go in a spam folder, so that if I ever want the name that I want for my Twitter, it's there. But yeah. I don't use it. I don't like it.
Good idea.
I don't
well,
like
any email you get from social media belongs in the spam folder. It's like Facebook, don't email me. If I want to know what you have to tell me, I'll go to facebook.com, which I don't go on that often. Although I had to reactivate Facebook in June to just sell some stuff on Marketplace.
That's fair.
So I can no longer say I'm, like, deactivated on Facebook. Caught myself doing the devious scroll here and there on it. I'm like, no, I left here for a reason.
Atomic Topher is going, there's a Mothman mini, question mark? A hot Mothman mini at that. There's a lot of Mothman minis. I'm 80% sure I know the ones that you're talking about for the hot Mothman mini. And yes, those do exist. I do not own those, but the STLs are out there. And I will be getting a P.O. box at some point. So if anyone with a 3D printer wants to send me Mothman minis, I'll take them.
Yeah, is all the, like, thirst for Mothman just because of that one statue of him in America where he's, like, particularly swole?
I don't know. I honestly don't really understand where the thirst for Mothman comes from. Because, again, I think I've talked about this before, and I don't know if it's with you or with someone else, and I don't know how I keep getting on this fucking topic, but I just see the Mothman kind of as, like, a meme. Like, I know about the Mothman through Tumblr, but not, like, to the point where people started thirsting over him, just where we were making funny memes about it. So to me, he's the same level as, like, Pepe the Frog or Dat Boy, where it's just, okay, that's a fun meme that I like. I don't know where the crossover with the monster fucker side of things happened, like it inevitably does, but yeah, I still don't get why. It's not for me.
I mean, in the, like, pre-internet days, Mothman was, like, a B or C list cryptid, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
he's an A-list cryptid. Okay, I don't want to hear.
Sorry,
I don't want to hear any of this.
I meant, like, in terms of his popularity, because I didn't hear about Mothman until he had become a meme.
That's fair.
You know, not like Bigfoot or the Chupacabra and all that.
Yeah. I'm actually I'm considering going to the Mothman Festival this year. They have it every year in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is like where the Mothman originated. And I kind of casually mentioned it to a friend, like, oh yeah, one day I'd love to go to this just because it feels dumb. And then she was, like, really enthusiastic about it. And she's like, we have to go. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'll go.
Nice.
So maybe I'll go to that.
West Virginia, that could be a nice road trip or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All of the hotels around Point Pleasant are currently booked for this year's Mothman Festival, though. So we're going to see if that's... Yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty decent crowd in an area that is not very equipped for large tourist groups, so we'll see about that. I am, however, going to Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament for my birthday, which is... I don't know if they have those in Canada, but they're stupid and wonderful.
I don't think we do.
And
I don't think we do, but I know all about them.
They're so good. And, like, spoiler alert for a video that I plan to do, but I was gifted a Night Titan at Gen Con.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I want to take the knight to Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament so he can learn how to be a knight by watching the knights. And then whichever one wins, I'll, like, factor that color or heraldry into the final look for that night.
Sounds like a fun gimmick for a video.
Absolutely.
Calder says they want a tulpa mini. Do you know what a tulpa is? Is that a cryptid, Calder?
Well, tulpas are like, they're like manifestations of like dream sort of energy from what I understand, and like they can take a lot of different forms because each person manifests a different one for themselves as far as I'm aware. Like, it's a lot of user input, so I don't know if there's a universal, like, understanding of what that looks like. But I could be wrong. I could be thinking of something else.
So before we get lost in the JoJo rabbit hole, were there any more points we need to cover about the Gunpla? You did a good job of, like, explaining your first Gunpla experience, and I think... From what I sent you, when I sent you that Gloomspite Gits model I painted, I think it's like an entry-grade Gundam, but you haven't built that yet, right?
I have not built that. That is correct. I didn't know at the time if someone would be going to Gunpla Build Night with me or not, and I wanted to have something that I could be like, oh, if you don't have one, like, we can figure out how to put this one together, or you can build this one, because I just have that kit, and I was like, yeah, I'll bring that along. Or if I brought it with me just in case this one was too complicated and I needed something simpler, but it turned out it was really easy to do. So, now I have an excuse to go back and build something else another time.
Yeah, I mean that one's like like I said, entry grade. So I'll be interested to see what you think of that one. Like, I can't quite remember. That might be one where you can just like rip the pieces out of the runner, like punch them out with your hands, and just like put it together in like less than 20 minutes, possibly.
It was very
Just like really get that feeling of superiority over like versus building a Games Workshop model.
If I ever need to just remember how much I hate assembly, I can assemble that guy. But it was really nice of you to send that, actually. I was very, very touched by that. It's very kind of you.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why you haven't built it yet. It's way less exciting than the thick boy.
Yeah, and I wanted him to be, like, if I was able to build him, because I feared that I would not be, but if he could be the first Gundam I ever built, then I wanted it to be the one that I was kind of like, yeah, this one has the best design.
Yeah, rightly so. Cyber Scorpio has a question for you. Were you a fan of the Secret Saturdays when it was on Cartoon Network?
Secret Saturdays. I have to say no, simply because I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me neither.
So I don't know what that is. I do know that I did used to watch, like, this was before Animal Planet got real into cryptids, and I don't even remember the name of the show, because, like, I had a super, I guess I technically have, but super religious mom who, like, wouldn't let us watch anything cool.
Right.
But sometimes she would leave, and we would get the opportunity to use the TV unsupervised. And what we always watched, there was like this fake, like, Monster Hunter documentary guy making videos about, like, the Yeti and Chupacabras and shit like that on Animal Planet before Animal Planet was just shit like that. And it used to terrify me and my older sister, but we watched it anyway. And so that was, like, I have to imagine if they're asking something like that, it's got to be sort of cryptid adjacent, and that's the best that I can give you.
They just sent another message that says Fiskerton Phantom, and I don't know what that means. That's all they said, just those two words.
That sounds like another cryptid, probably a lesser known one, like the Loveland Frog or the Fresno Nightcrawler. Or even, there's, like, one in Pennsylvania that's just called, like, a splonk or something, and it's just, like, a sad pig that cries pools of giant tears.
Oh, that's hilarious. The splonk?
I don't know if that's its exact name. I haven't researched that one heavily, but there's some weird ones out there, because pretty much every state in America has its own cryptid.
Yeah. Sounds like you got some decent cryptid knowledge.
I try.
Calder says, I feel for that fiver. Spent my childhood going from conservative church to more conservative churches.
Sorry about that, man, Calder. That sucks. It's not fun. Hopefully you're grown now and you get to move out of your parents' house, because it's amazing to realize that you don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore. You can just not go to church and you can watch any cartoons that you want.
Cheers, I'll drink to that. Man, my paint water right now is like the most delicious looking grape milk.
That's pretty cool.
All I've been painting is purple.
I have some pretty purple water going on as well, just because I had some green that I was painting earlier, and then some purple as well, and the blue hasn't been enough to cancel out the purple. It just sort of made it cloudier, so interesting paint water going on here.
It's always, you always gotta appreciate the forbidden juice as well.
You do. Nick Erdy says hi and hopes that I'm doing good. I am doing good. Thank you for that, Nick. I appreciate that. Oh, we've got another cat. Lobster's come to say hello. Hi, baby.
Hello,
Hi, baby.
Lobster.
For those on Liam's side who don't know me, I have a cat named Lobster. Lobster is not a lobster crustacean. He is a fuzzy orange cat. He is old sometimes. He's my oldest boy.
Oh, Ethan Nelson says, hello, who is our guest? It's Sugar Candy Miniatures.
It's
And
me.
Sasabi asked what Gunpla you're painting. They're painting the high-grade Gushin.
That's the boy.
And then Calder said, Fiverr is poisoning the Gushin. But then corrected that to painting, so it was a typo.
Well, if there was
Worried there for a
cadmium in the
second.
paint, I would be poisoning him, maybe.
Yeah, well, I got a comment on one of my videos. This is not really related, but I got a comment on one of my videos. Someone was saying, like, what I was doing was inefficient because I wasn't using oil paints. And I was like, what about those fumes, though? Well, I didn't respond, but in my head, I was like, what about those fumes, though?
I feel like that's a value. That's irrelevant, almost. Like, if painting isn't something that's necessarily supposed to be, let's do this as efficiently as possible. Like, it's an art. If it takes time, yeah, it's art. Art takes time to make. It's not one of those things where maximizing efficiency is necessarily the end goal. So that's weird
yeah,
to me.
I don't know why cadmium made me think of this, but I was thinking of this one time, I was talking with this guy who was trying to do an oil wash on one of his Gunpla. I think he was just doing it on the bare plastics, so the like mineral spirits he was using just like dissolves the Gunpla in his hands.
Oh no! Oh no, that's terrible. Oh shit. Did my screen die?